Hi guys, it's Debbie with Debbie J's Crafting Corner. Today I'm working with some more products from Spellbinders. This is part of the collection Layered Fleur Bouquet Slimlines by Becca Feekin, and that came out April 14th. That was part of the April release. I got started and then realized that, oh, I hit the wrong button when I thought I was recording. So I made this card and did not record it. So I'm going forward and we're going to be making some more. First off, this card is made using the half slimline diamond. That is this piece. It is absolutely gorgeous. I cut out a few of those, but it's made using that. And then this flower is from a glimmer set from couple of months ago, I believe, but that's it for this one. I've just basically used something that I already had in my stash to embellish it because, I mean, look at how gorgeous that die is. I mean, I initially decided I was going to do something more complicated, and then I decided, you know, that is just so pretty. Let's go with it. That and a flower, and it's perfect. And it comes with the die that says Plant Joy. I just adhered some white paper on the inside so there's a place to write, and that slimline card is all done. So, like I said, I have cut out a few more of these. Haven't decided exactly what card those are going to go on, but I also started going a little bit deeper into the collection. So as I mentioned, we've got the half slimline diamond, which is that piece. Then we've got the sweet leaf mini slimline. So we've got a mini slimline, so I have cut out a couple of those. So I figure I'll make a couple of mini slimlines, and then of course, what am I going to use to embellish it? So I've got a couple of flower dies in my stash that I need to work with. So I had just cut out 3 of each of these guys. Excuse me, each of the flower dies for the layered tulips, and printed out the instructions so I see exactly how everything goes. Now what's neat is it does have embossed on here some numbers and letters, so those are going to be basically your instructions, which is why I left them in the cardstock. I don't know if I'm going to be making 1, 2, 3 different tulips, but I'm going to get the instructions, show you what that looks like so you have an idea when you go to make yours as to how these things are supposed to go together. And it is a free PDF download from Spellbinders website right on the product page, so that is perfect. So these are the instructions from Spellbinders that you can download off of their website, and I'm going to work with this one here, and I've got it down a little bit because we've got a lot of glare from outside that is sneaking in through the window, and I can't really do anything about that. And each of these dies make an individual flower. Okay, so we've got number 1, then I've got number 2. It's these 2, so I'm going to have them like that. So add a little bit of adhesive at the bottom, and it is the bottom this time, and then I can put my little petal on there. Then we've got this one, which will go over here. Looks like this one's over here. Okay, I'll go with it over here. It's just a really, really odd shaped petal. Okay, so I'll go it that way. And then this little guy here actually is like a piece that goes right on top. So I'll go ahead and add that one down. So that one I know where it goes. Okay, and then this one, it goes across over the top. Now that does look kind of like a partially open flower, so that I think will work. And you can have them as full or as open or not. You don't have to position them exactly like that. Mine is more open than the one in the picture. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pop out some of the others and basically just following the same instructions that are on the page. You start at number 1 and you layer them up, and you can look at the pictures over here to see if there's any that need to be in a specific spot. What I am going to recommend is that when you get these dies, go ahead and cut everything out, because I have to admit, the first one I think is pretty already. I mean, just it's sitting there, I'm looking at it a little bit, it is pretty. The second one was super easy to put together. This one's going to be a little more complicated, but once you've done it a couple of times, it's like, oh, that's what that was. It's not as big of a deal as you would have thought it was going to be. Now, this one I'm looking back at and trying to see how that goes together. So this is that piece, okay. This is that piece. This one is like right in the middle of the back. Okay, so that at least gives me an idea of where these are supposed to go. Okay, so I'll go ahead and put this one up there, and I'm going to have this kind of close together. That's fine. This one, we know because it's the skinny, it goes right up on that edge there to give that a little bit of pop, a little bit of dimension. And I bet having this one shaded or something a little bit would look awesome too. What I need to do is I need to see how Yana did this one, because I'm sure that she has done a version of it. Okay, and then this one goes off to the side, showing a little bit more of the one in the middle and the back. Okay. And this is one of the reasons I love using my reverse tweezers. My fingers get in the way of everything, and having the tweezers hold everything in place makes it so much easier. Okay, so this one goes a little bit, I think, actually it's another one that does that layer, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in place, I believe. Looks like that's where it goes. So that's what I'm going to do with it. And flowers are not perfect, so if you put it in the wrong spot, nobody else is going to know but you. Okay, then we've got this guy that comes out over here, because that flower is blooming. So I'll go ahead and put some adhesive down for that one. And then we've got this little guy. And it looks like that goes right there, so it's basically where the top of that petal is basically curved out, is folded out. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down. That's going to add that little touch of dimension. Okay, and then we've got this last bit that comes over onto this side where it is basically blooming pretty nicely. So it's going to go right there. Okay. So now I have my blooms for one, well, at least blooms for one card. I may decide to split this up. Have not made that decision yet, but I do have 3 blooms there. So now I can go ahead and put together some more flowers and cut all of my stems. Okay, so now I have all of my flowers that I'm going to play with today anyway. I've got 2 sets. I've got the light pink and then the medium pink. And now I need to add the stems. So we've got dies for stems and leaves, and then this little triangular piece, which is actually the part that attaches your flower to your stem. So I'm going to go ahead and start with that part, because I figure when I decide which card I'm going to put it on, I can assemble everything on the card, and we will be good to go. So these are very, very thin stems. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue down at the bottom and then just attach it to each of my stems. And it looks like there is a pointed piece and the other part is mostly rounded. So I'm thinking it would basically go about like that. And that will be pretty. Let me go ahead and add a flower to this one. Okay, so I'm going to be using one of the cover plates. This one is the Sweet Leaf Mini Slimline. And I'm going to put it on a piece of, this is actually cut out of white cardstock, and then I'm going to layer that over a green pattern paper that I had in my stash that I trimmed down to just a little bit bigger than this. Like just a touch longer. I meant to cut it wider as well, but you know how that goes. Okay, so now I can trim that down, and then I can layer my flowers on there and put it on a card base. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start adding my flowers. I think I want one of the darker ones in the middle, and then my two of my lighter ones on the outsides, and then for my second card, however I want to do it, I can probably arrange the flowers in about the same way. Go ahead and do that. Okay, that looks good. And then I'm going to pop these guys up with a little bit of foam. To add a little bit of dimension to the card. And I'll go ahead and trim off this little bit of extra for the stem, and there we go, have it positioned about right. And now I can add a little bit of art glitter glue behind this stem so that it stays down. Okay. Okay, now I can start adding some of the leaves. Okay, now that looks lovely. All that's needed for this one would be a sentiment, and you could basically use any kind of sentiment for this. I have been having some issues with recording tonight. I do apologize, guys, because it looks like I just assembled this card without having actually hit the button. I thought I had hit the button. I think I'm tired. Anyhow, I decided I was going to put all three of the flowers on this card, but back behind, have it at least start back behind is this pretty silver gate, and then I've got two of them popped up in the front. Just put some foam tape on top of that and tuck their stems behind the singular leaf. Think that looks really pretty. Now I just need to trim it down and then mount it onto a card base. Okay, so we have 3 pretty cards, completely different, all using some of the same products. So for this one, just to go back over and recap, we've got the half a Slimline diamond from Spellbinders. So we've got this lovely border there and plant joy. Then I used the layered tulips and the sweet leaf mini Slimline to create this lovely card. And then for my final card, I combined these half Slimline diamond and the layered tulips for this lovely card. Thank you guys for dropping in. If you'd like to see some more card videos where I'm using some amazing Spellbinders products, be sure to check out this playlist. You guys have a wonderful day, and remember, if I can make it, you can too. Have a great day.